Okay, so I had a question about guillotines, specifically arm in guillotine and high elbow. So I'll actually show the high elbow first, so that way we have that, and then I'll start breaking down a little bit of how I do the arm in guillotine. There's a lot of detail. I'll try to shorten it up, but I know I won't. Okay, so anytime I'm looking for a guillotine's all over the place, man. I mean, it just depends if that's what you're looking for. So I think I'm gonna show it today just from a basic kind of half guard position. I'm just kind of like here, right? I consider this kind of half guard in a way because my one leg between, okay? So the first thing that we need to do when we're talking about the high elbow guillotine is my choking hand placement. I always, in general, whenever I go for a guillotine, I'll always look to cup the chin. Okay, so I'll be here, this will be an entry, and then I'm looking to snap down and hold the chin. And I hold the chin because if somehow Ivan defends or does whatever he does, I have like a chin strap, I got chin control. So I can actually do a lot of things with that. And that's all over the place. So I control all over the place. You grab a guy's chin, he has to acknowledge it, all right? Unless he just has a big ass chin. So, which still won't work. So I got the chin strap here. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to make sure my shoulder is pressing in, so as I want to close off this space. So I kind of shrug in. So I kind of connect my shoulder down to his spine here. Boom. That's kind of where I usually land, like here. And once I get this, I'm going to connect my hands. I like the ball and chain grip. There are variations of grips you can use. I like this grip here for this high elbow. There are guys who use the S grip, which is completely valid. And then I also use a bit of a modified grip we may go over, but I use this one more in the arm in. So we'll go over that. But for this particular one, I'm gonna go here. So I get to the guillotine, control the chin, I drop my elbow or my shoulder to the back. I connect my hands, okay? So still there's not really much of a choke. The biggest mistake guys kind of make is they start pulling and they pull the guy back like this and it feels like you're pulling off his neck. And you'll get taps from that from beginners and stuff, but the more, like Ivan knows how to defend, grab my shoulder, there's all kinds of things, grab my hand, and then it just kind of falls apart. It becomes a pulling game. You don't want a pulling game. Through all this stuff, even with the arm in, I like to think of it kind of as a rotation, like a circular thing. Even with my hands are gonna be cupping in like this and rotating. My arm's gonna be, rocking the baby, rotating. So it's not like a pulling thing. There is some pulling, but as you're gonna see with my elbows, as soon as I get here and I drop my shoulder and I lock, I'm gonna pull my elbows in, okay? So I get here, the chin strap, I drop my shoulder, I get the grip. Okay, now I'm gonna retract my elbows back, and that's when it gets really tight. I retract my elbows back. The reason why I retract my elbows back is because I have to get this elbow up here, okay? If I just do this, and then I start pulling Ivan, his shoulder is connected to my chest. I can't, it's gonna be hard to get it from here. So I need to acknowledge that. I need to fill this space on the side of his head with my arm, okay? So here, and the way I do that is I can't leave my head here. My head has to start going to the other side, okay? So when I lock my shoulder out, I drop my elbows back, and then I bring my head to the other side. That's what's gonna allow me to start rotating my elbow up, and that's when it gets tight. Now when I fall, I go to my side, and I get here. Now, my bottom hook is connected, right? I'm pulling it to my butt. My knee needs to retract, come up across his back and hook. And then it's a simple, boom, that's it. It was not a pulling motion that I did. Ooh. Sorry. It wasn't a pulling. Guillotines, is it guillotine or guillotine? Guillotine sucked for the guy that I'm practicing on because it's like a constant choke, okay? So there's a lot of little things that are happening. The finish with him wasn't me pulling. You feel like I was pulling your neck away from you. Like if your partner, whoever you do this with, will be able to give you some feedback. If they feel like you're pulling your head off, that's not necessarily correct. I mean, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, it sucks. A guy pulled my head off, it does suck. But it's the choke. If you're wanting the choke, it's this rotation. I'm dropping, that's what's gonna add it. Now I can start maybe adding some pulling back pressure. And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm cupping my hand. As I'm doing this, my hands are going like this. So I'm rotating, like under, like scooping kind of like under his neck, right? So that just adds another layer of pressure, right? We're trying to get as much space eliminated as possible. Okay, that just adds a little bit more. So one more time. I'm in a kind of a half guard position here. I may be tying up. I usually set it up just like this. I'll get here and I'll test the guy out. Sometimes if I do this, the guy pops his head out and he just pulls back and I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I gave him all the space. Now I can do other stuff. He doesn't respond. I get his chin, okay? I drop my shoulder so that way he can't retract anymore. He can't pull his head back, right? I'm gonna loosen up. So I put my shoulder down because I don't want his head. If I'm like this, I can just pull his head. He can rip his head out if he wants. He's gonna fuck up his ears, but it's gonna be easy for him. So I drop this to block that off, okay? Now the next thing before I go, I need to connect my hands, and then I'm gonna put my head to the other side and fill this gap right here with my arm. I don't want his shoulder connected to me. If his shoulder's connected to me, I can't finish it the way I want to. So I get my arm in, I go to the other side, and I rotate my hand up. So now it's on his back. But notice my head's on the other side. Now I fall to the side, and then I contract. I actually didn't pull or anything. I was putting my hand there real loose. The idea here, and I think the correct credit to that, when I first learned that, was from Marcelo Garcia. I think he's the one that was just killing everybody with it, man. Boom, killing everybody. I'm not flexible, so me doing this is hard, but I can still do it. The mistake that I made when I first started doing it, I thought I had to be flexible. Like I was like, oh, I can't get my shoulder. I got too much muscle. I'm too big. It's like, no, you need to move your head out of the way. Then you can get the space to do it. Move your head out of the way, and then you can rotate over, right? So that's gonna be the guillotine just from like a half guard position. The same kind of stuff is like from turtle, right? It's a different variation. You know, I put my knee on the other side of the head, but won't get into that. But essentially it's the same kind of thing you're looking for with that high elbow. And in my opinion, the high elbow guillotine is one of the probably higher percentage that you'll get on somebody, rather than just grabbing somebody's head and trying to rip it off, okay?